You're listening to Remotely One, a podcast that educates, entertains, and inspires you to take your life back from the office commute. I'm Rick, a former beer rep who left the warehouse to become a voice actor and digital creator.
And I'm Kaleem, a remote work advocate and consultant. We're going to speak with some of the top professionals who have managed to avoid the commute as they share stories from the most inspiring to the most comical, all while working remotely.
Man, this sounds awesome. Let's clock in.
All right, we're here live at the Tandem booth. Shout out Tandem. Shout out Mal. I see you over there. We're at the Tandem booth, and our guest today is originally from Jersey Shore. That's right. Where the TV show was based. You know, the tank tops, the tans. That's where she's from. Oh, goodness. They currently live in the city, which, if you don't know what the city is, it's Manhattan. I learned that. Everyone's not from New York, so she lives in Manhattan right now. They're a graduate of the UConn Huskies. Shout out UConn. Whoop, whoop. Woo.
Go UConn.
Woo. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's their thing.
No.
Also got your master's degree from George Washington.
That's right.
Shout out George Washington.
Thank you, DC,
Wow,
yeah.
wow, DC.
Yeah.
She got her HR start in 2013.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
I know.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, it's wild.
2013 in the PEO space.
Yes.
Something that I wouldn't have guessed. Growing up in Jersey Shore, living in the city, she loves nature.
Yeah.
She is on nature.
Yeah.
They are the CEO and founder of Redhook, which is a coaching company for executive leadership. Listeners and viewers, please give a warm welcome to Brie-Ann Forhecz. Let's go.
Wow. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a
We're
start.
amped up, right? We're amped
Okay,
up.
now I'm here.
Wake up.
Yeah.
Wake up. You know what I love about doing that is just looking at everybody, looking at you shining.
Yeah, actually, I didn't notice anybody else, but you in that. That was fantastic. Thank you for that.
So we're at the Tandem booth. Obviously, we got to ask a question on feedback.
Yeah.
So you probably give lots of feedback as a coach.
I have given a lot of feedback in my HR past.
Yes.
Yes.
So what are some challenges or some tips, or maybe like what's different about giving feedback in a remote work setting?
Yeah. Well, remote is such an interesting aspect because it brings so much uncertainty to so many scenarios.
Okay.
There's an underlying, well, how is this person feeling? Because I'm only getting so much time with them to do specific things at a specific time in the day. So sometimes you're going in with these, unknown relationships or where you stand when it comes to even thinking about trying to give somebody feedback in a remote setting.
Okay.
So that's what I think about first is uncertainty
Yeah.
that the environment creates.
So you are doing executive leadership coaching. Can you tell me, I love your name, by the way. It's a great name.
Thank you.
Great name.
Thank you.
Redhook.
Redhook Coaching.
Yep.
Yep.
What makes you unique? What are you doing? What are you doing to help leaders?
I bring leaders clarity.
How? How do you do that?
I bring leaders clarity through my approach, I would say.
Okay.
One, I like to create an environment that is open and warm. You really got to build that trust.
Okay. Gotta have that warmth.
Yes. Which remotely is quite interesting to do.
Right.
And takes time. Somebody had a great quote this morning at one of the sessions who said, you earn trust in drops, but you lose it in buckets.
Yes. You earn trust in drops, but you lose it in buckets. That is a good one.
So in our remote world, your drops are that 30-minute intro call to figure out, hey, what kind of problems do you have in a way that makes people feel like I'm with you in this. I'm actually very curious and want to understand you and your problems and figure out with you along the way, is that the right problem? Have we identified the correct problems? Is that actually meaningful to you? And so in the coaching remote world, I think some of those really early on conversations in your coaching consult So important just to really show up from a grounded place
Yeah.
to show this person why you have shown up. And I think that's where some of the trust truly begins, and you are continuously earning it in those drops
Wow.
over time.
And because, please correct me if I'm wrong, but
Yeah.
from what I gathered and because you're not in person with that person,
Right?
it's really important on those calls, when you have those calls, to really be present and really add those drops to the bucket.
Yes,
You know?
totally.
Yeah, that's fascinating. That's
Totally.
fascinating. So for a lot of people, it's been only since 2020 since we've been remote. There's a lot of advantages for some. Some people, there are some disadvantages. What are some of the advantages for coaching? Or what are maybe some of the challenges with coaching while doing it remotely?
Yeah. Where do we want to start?
Let's start with challenges.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges?
So.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Me too.
I like to end on positive.
Me too.
I'm a positive ender.
Yeah. So, challenges to the remote coaching. I mean, it's a little bit what we just chatted about. It's getting in front of your clients
Okay.
and really helping them to understand what this partnership is going to be, without them feeling judged, without them feeling like they're not going to have a partner in coaching as well. So I think
A partnership. So coaching is a partnership, is what I just heard you say. Like we're doing this together type thing?
I would like to think of it in that way, in that I'm in your corner. I like to say in coaching that I lead a process, but you drive all the outcome.
Ooh, do you hear that? You hear that? Say it again.
Do you want to hear it again?
Get it for emphasis, right?
Yeah.
Right in the camera.
I lead the process, but you drive the outcomes. Yeah, and so in that, over time, I think you really do build a partnership because there's this mutual understanding of, here's what I'm bringing for you, but you're actually going to make that your own because
Right.
it's yours.
Right.
You are the expert on you.
I can't do the thing for you.
Yeah, and I don't want to do it for you.
Right.
Because our brains are totally different. I'm a Jersey girl, remember?
I'm a Jersey.
You don't want to know what I want to do.
Okay, so now that we've talked about like some of the challenges,
Yeah.
what are some of the advantages of this global work world that we're in now?
I mean, it's like the world is your oyster. The leaders, I mean, all the oysters.
Yeah.
There is just so much opportunity to get people support in becoming leaders they want to be in so many different areas of the world that might have different cultures, that you may be exposed to different types of situations, the sizes of companies, the types of people you have access to who are around you. In addition, I mean, look at people being able to live lives and wherever in the world they want to be and still be able to get this type of service and support and help. And me also, on the selfish side too, being able to maybe be on at a beach,
Yeah,
right
absolutely.
before my coaching call.
Hey, if your coach isn't in a healthy space, how can they help someone else? So, I mean,
That is really true. And I don't know that a lot of people think about that very much, but you got to do some self-work to
Right,
really show
right.
up well. Yes.
how's the scheduling with remote? Does that make it actually a little bit easier? Do you find that people try to squeeze a session in, in between, whereas, maybe in person would be a lot harder? Or?
Yeah, they can. I mean, executives are busy people,
Yeah.
so there's a lot of squeezing. I would say I am there to serve, and so what works for that coachee is what we'll do. I will for sure check in if I'm noticing that maybe there's some distractions or maybe observe some things that I feel maybe that coach is not entirely present. We'll halt for a second and I might address that and say, hey, what can we maybe remove that's going on in your mind right now to put aside? Or does anything need to be said to kind of be cleared before we start? So I'll work with schedules, but I want to make sure that my coachee is coming into a place where they can make the full use of this coaching session and be creative and get into that mental space where they can really think about new solutions to their problems.
So you are, as a remote coach, still taking an assessment of their personal time, or what they're doing in the moment, trying to gauge
Yes.
anything you can as far as distractions. That's interesting. So tell me about this little encounter that you had in Jersey. Tell me about this encounter.
Now's the time. Okay.
Tell me about this encounter.
Okay, and you don't know about this encounter. I just
No, I
want
do
people
not.
to know that.
Hey, I do not know, so
Okay. So I think I was about 13 years old, and as you know, I'm a Jersey girl. So
Okay.
family vacations down the Jersey Shore.
all right.
I was on the beach in Seabright, New Jersey, and I must have pulled up my chair alone, my family in the background, to be near the water and just kind of, observe. I was a kid. What am I doing? I don't know.
Just checking it out. Checking it out.
What do I know? This guy, who's like kind of scraggly, his beard's kind of little all over the place. He's got some like gold chains and a shirt off, and he's got his hat on, his sunglasses.
Total Jersey.
Oh yeah. This guy starts walking by. I'm not paying attention until like I realize he's coming up. He's coming up to my chair.
Okay.
And so as a kid, I'm kind of like stranger danger.
Stranger danger.
Yeah.
Stranger danger.
Oh yeah. So this guy comes up and he takes his hat off, he puts his sunglasses in his hat, and he hands it to me. He's like, "Hey, do you mind holding my hat while I go for a swim?" I'm like, whatever you want, buddy. Just please exit. So I'm holding this guy's hat, and I'm kind of like sitting there watching him. He's going on like the bouncy thing in the ocean, having a grand old time by himself. Next thing I know, my aunt and mom run up. They go, "Do you know who that was?"
Who was it?
Bruce Springsteen.
The boss?
The boss.
The boss?
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Yes.
Hey there, sweetie, would you hold my hat while I go swimming?
Yes.
Stranger danger, boss. Stranger danger. That's
boss.
the best story.
Oh, God.
Boss, if you're checking this out,
Yeah.
please send her a new hat. It'd be great.
Yeah. It was a New York Yankees hat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on brand.
Yeah.
So we're here. We're at Transform. We're at the Tandem booth.
Yes.
What's your favorite Flow Rider song?
Apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur.
That's all I know.
I know it.
You know
I just didn't want to take up too much
It's
time.
okay. It's okay.
We can go on all day.
Well, thank you so much for
Oh,
joining us,
God.
Brie-Ann. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Kaleem.
I'm definitely going to be following you on LinkedIn. Everyone
Awesome.
check her out.
Awesome.
So thank you once again.
Thank you. This
Peace.
has been great.
Awesome.
You've been listening to Remotely One. Visit us at remotelyone.com/podcast for upcoming episodes. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and download our episodes on your favorite podcast app.
Hey, don't forget to clock out.